Hey YouTube, sorry for the delay there. Phone was acting a little funny. So told you guys I was going to do a review of this already well-reviewed Toro Timemaster. I know I've seen probably no less than 15 or 20 of these things on YouTube already, and people generally say the same things, which consist of it saves time, it's heavy, and drinks a lot of fuel, and before the new engine didn't have enough horsepower. That's pretty much what they all consist of. So I don't think I need to rehash any of that, but I wanted to do a little bit of a review, kind of my thoughts from an engineering standpoint. I am an engineer and I do product design for a living. So this is a $1,100 mower with tax, depending on where you live. $1,200 for the electric start motor. It's $11.99 with tax, a little over $1,300. So it's not cheap. And the bottom line is, do I feel like this is a $1,000 mower? And the bottom line answer to that is no, I don't. And I say that because I know who Toro is, and Toro makes great products. They're a good company, but they have a lot of vertical integration, and it doesn't really cost them that much to make this mower. And I think there's some touches that they could put on it to make it better, and it wouldn't take much. So I'm going to start off with the biggest problem, if you will. It's not really a problem, but the biggest problem, in my opinion, is the weight of the mower. This thing needs a plastic deck. If you've ever pushed that plastic deck Honda around, you know it's pretty light. Even, obviously it's not as big a cut as this, but it's definitely a light mower. This one, the wheels are so skinny, they're actually fairly wide. They're good thickness there, but the mower is so heavy that it tracks up your yard. It compacts your yard. There's no question about it. It does it. So automatically putting a lighter deck on this thing would make it much better, more user-friendly. In addition to that, where I was also going with that was it does need wider wheels. Because it is a bigger mower, I would put wider wheels on it in addition to making it lighter. Also, in addition to it being a heavy mower, it's a little hard to turn. I think I would make these front wheels free swiveling and not push style or just inline style. I think I would make them sort of like your zero turn mower, where you could have some freedom in your rotations, because it's a little hard to turn this thing. You have to pick it up to turn it. Sorry for the noise. I guess everybody's outside. It's nice today. It's 80 degrees. I can't wait till we get to the new house. Okay, so that addresses the weight. The weight is fixable. Guys, Toro, put a plastic deck on it. I know you got to meet some UL standards and everything. Put a plastic deck on it. Maybe make the engine mount here aluminum, bolt it to it or something. Yeah, I don't know. That would be a huge improvement. Second thing, horsepower, already been addressed. I don't have any problems with this mower unless I try to mulch really tall grass. If you're taking care of your yard and you're mowing like you're supposed to, this older engine, which is 190cc, 8.75 foot-pounds of torque, works just fine. Like I said, unless the grass is really tall, which I put the blower on there. Mine's on there today because I had to mulch up some grass. I just don't have a problem with the engine. I guess if this one ever blows up, I'll put the bigger one on it, but I don't have a problem. Sorry about that. Okay, so that takes us to, let's just talk about the engine a little bit more. I am not a fan of tipping the engine on the side to drain the oil. It's simple and it works. Not really my thing. I wish there was just a regular drain on it. They're not that hard to do. It costs 14 cents for a plastic tube and a cap. Just do it. Maybe a little bit more, you know, put the boss in the engine and everything, but it's not a huge deal. It's doable. In addition to when you tilt the engine, gas does run out. I'd like to see that addressed. Maybe the new engine doesn't do it, but this one does. Gas does run out if it's got anywhere over half a tank in it. So that needs to be fixed in my opinion. What else have we got here? The deck adjustment, I'm sorry, not the deck adjustment, the belt adjustment under this cover is pretty easy. I wouldn't say it's the best in the world, but it's doable. I'll give Toro some points on that one. They made it relatively easy. You know, there's a couple of nuts. I don't remember the last time I did it. I think there's one you have to hold and one you have to turn, something like along those lines, but it wasn't real hard to do. I think though, if you were going to make it quicker and easier to do, and also make the belts last a little longer, maybe make it spring loaded and automatic, with a, you know, some kind of automatic retention. When you pull it back, you can put a pin in it or something. Just make it automatic. Just convenience factor, right? Let's just take it up a notch to the next level. Again, not horrible. This port right here, they suck in my opinion. I've never had one that really worked good. I've had 3 Toro lawnmowers. I've never thought they worked good. The decks rust because they're wet. I don't know, do you guys have other experiences with that? Because in my opinion, they suck. Maybe if you have really high water pressure or something, I don't know. Okay, so then that takes us to the handle, the quick handle here. This is a very cheap, very simple, you know, have 2 plates and a lever. Sorry, I'm trying to just hold it on with one hand. So you, if you haven't seen this more before, you just push that blue handle and then kind of pick up on the, get the weight off of that pin, and out it goes, and you can store it like that. That's great. I do my store run like that every time because I push it in my garage behind my car, pop the handle up, close the garage door. Works great. I would improve it though, and here's why. Because when you see that movement there, it just feels cheap to me. It doesn't feel like a $1,300 mower or $1,200 or however much you paid for it. Down position, it just feels cheap to me. I just don't like it. I think if I was going to do this different, I'd have some kind of a clamp clutch system on the sides and go ahead and bring that lever up here so that you could, without having to reach down there, just go ahead and pull some kind of a lever here and just fold it up. And then a clutch system would allow you to make it adjustable in multiple positions, instead of just the 2 or 3 that you have. 2 operating in 1 storage, 2 storage actually. So there's 4 positions. There's folded all the way forward, straight up, and then 2 mowing positions. So, but if you had a clutch position, you could pretty much put it wherever you wanted it, as long as the clutch held tight enough. Maybe make it some kind of ratcheting mechanism or something. Again, just taking it up to the next level. That, in my opinion, would make it a better mower. Personal pace. Let's talk about personal pace for a minute. If it's well adjusted and your spring is lubricated and your cable is lubricated, it works really well. I'm going to pause the video right here, and by the time we'll go to a part 2. 1 second.